r/ask Reddit. What's something that seems worth buying, but really isn't? A GoPro. It's not a purchase I regret, but it's hard to forget that your own life is pretty damn boring and doesn't need an action camera to capture the lack of action. LOL, I got a GoPro back in 2014 and quickly realized this. I've now found some use for it though. I use it as a helmet cam when cycling just in case I get into an accident. Sometimes I'll strap it onto RC cars for fun. If you're a younger person, having more dishes can be a problem. Dishes will tend to pile up. Having a few dishes will force you wash them. This should be a life pro tip. Cheap $1 charging cables. They die within 2 tangles and 2 swears at it. I give up. Everything on the Wish app. I had 10 items ordered from Wish that never arrived. Never even shipped. They even tried to get out of refunding me. The idea is good for certain things, but Wish itself is a scam-imo. An expensive wedding. People go, oh, it's once in a lifetime, so you have to do it well. But if you can't afford it, don't go borrowing. Any kind of shelf or product that is attached with a suction cup. Sure, it looks great in theory, you don't have to hammer any nails, but it's just a matter of when, not if, it will all come crashing to the ground. Suction cups are the opposite of duct tape. Suction cup products look sexy, but you can't count on them. Duct tape is very plain, but it always comes through for you. Kitchen unitaskers. No, you don't need a quesadilla maker. It's called a pan and you likely already have one. Designer luggage. I have a friend who has all this Louis Vuitton luggage. She spent thousands of dollars on it and uses it like once a year at most. And it always has damage after a flight. A $100 suitcase does the exact same thing. And you're not in debt after buying it. Cable television. Streaming services really killed that industry. If you have 10k of savings and you're single with no kids, life insurance. I'm paying $12 a month for a $500k life insurance policy. I'm young and single, but I think it's funny that if I die I get to prank my baby brother one last time. Worth it to me. Antivirus programs like McAfee or Norton. Windows Defender works just great, and of course the best thing to do is just not download sketchy things. There's this thing called common sense, and let me tell you, it is your best protection everywhere and every time. Premium brands of food over house brands. I have a friend who has worked in a factory for years under various contracts. At one point he was processing various canned and bagged veggies. When they went from canning or bagging premium or house brands and back, literally the only thing they did was change the bags or the labels on the cans. This isn't a 100% common practice, but it is way more common than you might think. There are a few items that I just can't tolerate the store brand, no matter how much I try. But 95% of the time I totally agree. I live like a mile from the Friendly's ice cream factory, and they also make our local supermarket chain's ice cream. But I still see people with Friendly's ice cream all the time. A new axe. Just sharpen your old one. Expensive baby clothes for an infant who has no concept of fashion and will outgrow them in mere months. A total waste of money. Burberry makes infant onesies. Timeshare. I signed up for a sit through a timeshare presentation. Get free prize thing. Morbid curiosity to see if the deal will be as horrible as South Park made it out to be. Def not buying into it though. Knickknacks. I say this while owning tons. What about paddywhacks? Somebody give this dog a bone. A diamond engagement ring. That girl loves you for you, not the size of the diamond. Use that money for a down payment on your house, a honeymoon, anything. The money would be better used to start a life together, not an expensive piece of jewelry. A friend of mine and his wife both had trees planted when they were born. They had their wedding bands made primarily with wood from those trees. Beats by Dre. You can get headphones twice as good for half the cost if you read up on some audiophile pages. I prefer Beats by Scroot. Boats. You don't want a boat, you want a friend who owns a boat. I feel the same about pools. Expensive and kind of pain to maintain. Lord help you if it's heated. Best thing is just to become friends with someone that has one. Anything from daytime TV ads. It's usually cheap junk that's way overpriced. The egg cuber was reasonably priced and my hard-boiled eggs are little cubes. What shape are your hard-boiled eggs? I bet they are just egg-shaped. Those Blue Apron subscriptions. You're overpaying for measured ingredients and have to spend the time making the dish and cleaning up. Just doesn't seem financially sound to me. Blue Apron is great when you have more money than time. Cooking for a single person can be tough depending on where you live as well. It's often hard to buy ingredients to cook single servings to keep a varied diet instead of cooking a bunch of the same thing because you had to buy a bunch of it at once. An expensive wedding. It's costly, it's stressful, and has absolutely no effect on your marriage. Just elope and combine your wedding with a trip of a lifetime. OMG, we have seen so much money wasted on them through the years, only to see the divorces a few years later. The most expensive one we went to was way over $100,000 K. They got divorced inside of a year. My wife and I got married on a beach in Mexico. No muss no fuss. Baby shoes. Your babies are not walking, or rarely walk, and 3 feet are in a constant state of growth. I bought my son shoes before he could walk, mainly because it was winter and he kept pulling his socks off. The shoes were just to keep his socks on. Also, they only cost $10. Worth it to keep my boy's toes from freezing. I get what you're saying though. Spending a bunch of money on shoes that will never actually be walked on is ridiculous. Windows. There are free alternatives that can accomplish more. But if you live in a cold place you should probably get windows or you'll freeze. Don't leave holes in your house. Some people say that programmers are better off without windows but they do their work at home and if they don't have windows they'll freeze. Young kids' birthday parties 3 years old, and expensive kids' toys. They'll spend hours on the cardboard package instead. Trust me. ORV. Recreational vehicle. Sounds good on paper, even when you go see it, but it just ends up parked 340 days of the year. Exercise equipment. 90% of the time it ends up as a junk holder or collecting dust in a garage within a year. At least with the people I know who have bought them. They also get cheaper as time goes on, making selling it a chore too. I've wasted money on some fad equipment, but the basics, like a good set of dumbbells, a bench, or a door-mounted chin-up bar, are a great investment if you use them. They'll practically last forever. Name brand medicine. You're getting the same exact thing from a generic that you are getting from a name brand. The FDA requires generics to be just as effective and work as quickly as a name brand. And to add to that, a lot of companies that manufacture a name brand medications also manufacture their generic counterparts. Expensive wedding centerpieces. The best advice I got from some bridesmaids who had been through some shit was no one cares about your centerpieces. No one will say a thing. Don't spend your money there. I think in total I ended up spending $300 on centerpieces. Floating candles. Thrifted florist cylindrical varies. And fake flowers on branches. Combine. Add water. Light candle. These actually proved useful because the venue was kind of dark otherwise and added a lot of ambience. Plus, they went on to be used in about 3-4 different weddings after ours. A friend asked if she could have the vases and flowers. She does a lot of event planning. More money went to having an open bar. Note to the newly engaged, candles are cheaper than flowers. Fast food. Sure, at the time it seems cheap, quick, and easy. It becomes clearer when you directly compare pricing. A large fries from McDonald's is roughly $2. For the same price you can purchase an entire bag of potatoes. $2.50. Convenience comes with a cost. So true. My spouse and I save a ton of money by just snacking on unwashed raw potatoes straight out of the bag on long car trips instead of wasting $1 to buy fries like the yokels in the towns we drive past. Games during a Steam sale. As if you don't ignore your current games enough. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.